now it's dry, and I will work here to create more. I don't need that calligraphy brush at the moment, or maybe why not? It will be better. It will be better. So nice dark mix. So this is how it works. You see, very pointy. Um, that different. Let's make okay. Yes. And I will now create shadowy areas in the green. Of course, if you wish, you can work on like every details in within this foliage, leaves and stuff, if you wish. But what I'm gonna do now is just in some places I will do negative painting for to create the shapes of the leaves. Like that. Some of the parts here will be dark. Some of it will be a bit brighter. Like this. Here more specific. Just like this. So here, less dark, I think. Very dark, perhaps, places, but we can do it later. Can use some of that my mix and orange. Stronger shadows. more rusty things for this wheel. It's very dark in this place, like so, and that rim also. Like that. Leave that brush for a moment, and I need tinier brush. I'd like to do some details around the bike, I mean in the shadows of the frame. Checking this, should be fine. Should be fine. I'm talking about, say, appearance of some details in the shadows. That looks dark. This frame also. There's a few places in here. This bottom of the frame. I'd like to make it more contrasty in here to bring frame up, make it more visible. Of course, we need to add just a little bit of shadow in there, and here. Don't forget this place as well. That's fine. These bits get more dark. This front cog chain, darker in here. Okay, this under the seat itself. Like so. Okay, while it's all dries at the moment, I can do something with the flowers. I will wipe this clean, and I guess I need some clean pinkish colors like that, yellows, colder yellows, and all that should be very watery at the moment. And I will paint the shadow areas of the flowers. Also, with some level of the looseness anyway, like that. Some of the yellow in here. Okay. We can add details any way that we want. Maybe some blue, why not? Very, very light blue. So there's no need to be extremely precise with this. As I said, Now we can create more green in these areas around the flowers, darker zones, and with the more tinier details. Very random placing this. See? Then I will go to my calligraphy brush. Oh, it's too much water in it. Because that bit looks very, very dark. It's just some of kind of extreme darkness within that bouquet of flowers like that. Different greens. Iridium with some red. This is very dark place. Well, because it's in the shadow. Yeah. So that's supposed to be dark. Yep. Now I will leave it to dry because I want to make a couple of spots of brighter colors when it dries within the flowers. But what I want to do now is maybe just to give a little bit more details to timber on the door. It's dry now. I can do something about it. My medium brush. Again, mix of orange and blue. Always try before you put anything. So that is too blue. A little bit more orange. Yes, like this, because some of the shadows I would like to bring more darkness into it, especially here. So these will help me also develop the shape of the flowers. Extra shadows. There. Shadows here. that. Some cracks, splits. So we will add that. Some of this as maybe more intense. Old snugs. But not much, just to spice it up. Perhaps maybe I can put it this way. Nail heads. With these nail heads, we can add some details, like make it a little bit this shape, so as if now this side of this metal bar like that. Some of the shadows supposed to get darker. Especially here in between the timbers. These bits that exposed to the viewer, we need to make them more like that. Okay. Put this thing between them. Shadow. Here. Now there's some little shadows under the threads, they hanging on like this, very tiny, nothing special. So slowly but surely, small contrast here around the seat. Go back to the tire just to get more darker edge in here, more dense, so that I can be sure it's not so it doesn't look like the tire is transparent. Like that. Well, looks good. Now I need a tiny brush for, you know what, I never even bothered to look for how those little bars called within the bike wheel. So I hope you forgive me for this ignorance, I guess, right? But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna draw them. So now, any lines that you're drawing with the tiny brush, whatever, like if the real life look solid, like this, for instance, we need to draw like that, with the variable, maybe like dashed lines, or some of it thicker, some of it like, and always leave the breaks. Okay, so I need to make paint for this. I'll show you what I mean, because these things, these bars appear darker against the brighter background and appear lighter against darker background. So whatever is here, we will make like this. Okay, very loosely like that, and there is a few of them seen. I won't even like leave this remove the remains of the pencil here, because it all adds up. You see, I'm making tiny dot when it connected to because there's a little knot like device there, so it could be. And then I have a little bit of white paint here. We will mix it with the maybe orange because it's not completely white. When you do this white, be very, very careful because, how can I put it? We can use this only for a tiny details, you see. We don't paint. All I want to see is just how it looks again. So that is dry. Okay, I mix some orange into white and I will try here how it looks. This is more than enough for me. I don't want it to look like crazy, like, you know, white stuff. So, and it's not supposed to be pure white at this moment. Of course, you can use the, you see, like that. And only parts of this strings, like you can make an accents with the white paint because of the shine to it. You could have used the masking fluid, no problem with this, but for this purpose you would need to use it's supplied in the form of like a pan, you know, and that allows you to make very fine details, mask them this way. So of course we can try to maybe get some of the white spots, if you wish, in the for the threads. You see here, just a little bit, not mud, very easy. So generally I will be against of using the white paint on the watercolor painting, but sometimes just for the tiny lines it's okay, I guess. No problems at all. I wouldn't be painting the anything that goes to like an area of flowers. So I just want to make a couple of accents here for the red flowers so that it's actually looks like the flowers. Okay, something bright, very bright, and I need a yellow, very bright yellow, so that I can say make an accent here, like this, and there, and there, and there. And that is actually not it. I probably, when it's completely dries, I will make one go more with the dark paint and, you know, improve appearance. All right, I think to my standards it's like absolutely fine anyway for a good reasonable picture. Maybe, of course, like when you're painting something, when watercolor dries it becomes brighter. You all know about this, I'm sure. So I might go over some areas once more to, you know, make it better. Just the only thing is, please don't overdo it. This is what I wanted. There is like a tiny bit here. I'd like to make it visible more. Create it. This. Very loose, very watery, like that. Okay. So I think, of course, we can do more and more details on this, work with the shadows, and I guess this what you might do on your own. But for me, I think this is good. I might maybe just add few details with the tiny brush, all these things. We don't want to overcomplicate things, right? I think it's when it's streamed and framed, it will be a good, decent picture, say, for the kitchen. This is actually what I wanted to do. This plan goes horizontally here. Like that. Okay. Just few, maybe few, very few. As I wanted more dark bits within this bunch of flowers. The more levels of darkness and difference between light and dark places you will create, the more volume kind of you bring in into subject, This. More depth, more difference, you kind of creating more and more volume for that. That is important. And the final thing, chateau. I would like to make this rating. I don't know what it says. All you can see is just chateau on it and some of the marking, on the box. Also, you know what? So it has to be orangey, kind of that thing. Checking. More orange. So since it's made of, so I will, let me see. Yeah, I think it's fine. So I'm writing just, maybe it's too much. So it has to be chateau, something here, and then something French is not my thing, apparently. Like this, maybe add the thing that it looks like made of planks of timber. Okay, I think this is it. You know yourself, we can continue to torture this like forever, and I will leave it up to you. I think as a prize for the winner, I will make another set of my paints, that the paints I make, the skits. Okay, so because like to be honest, completely with you, I have created for myself also this big fancy stuff, you know. It's also like I got it as a I also have them for sale from time to time. It's a big fancy stuff, because the only difference is I have exactly the same colors, but some ranges a little bit extended. So if in a standard bit I have 3 reds, in this I have 5 reds, see a little bit more yellow. So each section with the little bit extended. It gives you more flexibility, but when I did it a year ago, I barely use it because I always stick with this one, with the standard one, which again proves which again proves its reliability, or you know. Okay, so this is it. I think we can wrap it up. Maybe just final little thing with the I would like to make a tire, front tire, darker because it looks darker just in this bit, like this, and shadow within the okay, that's it then. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.